How much is this?
There are 100 bitcoins here.
What?
Hello everyone. In the last video you watched a video of my winning game. You also got some tips from me. Today I will tell you all about my winning strategy. But first, as promised, I want to briefly introduce you to my calculations. Well, these are all my calculations of the probabilities of earning or winning at least $1 million legally. I have been doing these calculations for the last several years. This will be very interesting to you if you ever hope to win big money. As a math teacher, I advise you to calculate the probability of success in all your projects. This is so that you don't waste your time and live with false hopes. So, my practice of trading options, futures and stocks on exchanges has shown that turning a few $100s into $1 million at once or even within a couple of years has very low chances. Well, options turned out to be the most interesting. Calculations based on statistics showed that it is possible to turn a few $100s into $1 million through successive trades. At the same time, having lost, we can increase our bet indefinitely, without restrictions, which, for example, there are in the casino. This is good, but we also do not know in advance the size of our winnings. This complicates forecasts and calculations somewhat. Several months of calculations showed that the probability for me to make $1 million over 2 years on stock options was 1 in 6.1 million. That didn't sit well with me. This is an extremely low probability given that I have experienced trading options and mathematical models for trading them. At the same time it is long. It takes a lot of time for constant analysis. Well, and this is psychologically not very comfortable for me. Okay, then I began to calculate the probabilities of winning in the casino. I studied the rules of the games and casino rules in the United States, Macau, and even Portugal. But the probability of winning the jackpot in the casino was even lower than in the stock options. Well, the probability of winning in different casino machines was higher and depended on the number of symbols in the reels. But even this probability was not less than 1 in 2.3 million. Okay, I began to count the probability of winning in various lotteries and calculate systems to increase the probability of winning in them. For example, the Powerball lottery in the United States typically costs $2 per ticket and has a 1 in 10.5 million chance of winning. The Mega Millions lottery also has a probability of winning 1 in 10.5 million. The probability of winning at least $1 million in the Euro Millions lottery depends on the specific prize tier. The probability of winning a second-tier prize, which is about 1 million, is 1 in 6.9 million. Now pay attention. The odds of winning the Superenalotto, for example, are 1 in 622 million. Well, as you can imagine, it's called never. Okay, I've studied the specifics of online casinos, because they are a little different than real casinos. But the odds there are about the same as in a regular casino. Okay, and then I came across this game at win100xbt.com with a prize of 100 bitcoins. The game is that you have to figure out the clues in the form of signs near the doors. There are a total of 12 levels in the game, at each of which, using clues, you have to choose one door out of 3. If you haven't seen my winning game yet, be sure to watch my previous video. I started playing this game using 2 approaches at once. Well, the first is that I started recording video of my games to analyze the signs near the doors. I had to figure out how many signs there were and what they meant. The second approach was that the initial probability of winning without paying attention to the signs was 1 in 531,441. Well, that's a very good probability of winning. Compare that to what I was counting before. So, after about 40 games, I made a strategy and started playing it. Those 40 games gave me a chance to see that there were still clues in the game for me. Okay, at the very end of the game in the last room, when you choose a door and the treasure chest isn't there. Sometimes it says on what level you picked the wrong door. This is the inscription right here. I found it on my videos especially for you. Well, this means that before that level, all the doors were chosen correctly. That way you can better understand what the signs near the doors mean. Second, here is the most basic clue for which the entire strategy was designed. You got the wrong door on level 10. What does that mean? Well, it means that you're very close to winning and you need to go through the remaining options. You have 2 doors left at level 10, 3 doors left at level 11, and 3 doors left at level 12. You will understand this better if you look at the picture. A hint at the end of the game indicated that I had chosen the wrong middle door at level 10. Here are all the remaining options to go through. A total of 18 choices, that is, 18 games, and the treasure chest will be found. And that's a winnings of 100 bitcoins, well, or $3 million. Okay, but it says before the game that the treasure chest moves to a different room every 10 minutes. That means we have to play 18 games in 10 minutes. Well, we've already played 1 game, so 19 games in 10 minutes. That works out to 31.5 seconds per game. Well, now you see why my winning game is so fast. Okay, playing a game in 30 seconds is no problem, but there is one assumption here. I made the assumption that the chest is carried at exactly a certain time, let's say 20 hours exactly, 20 hours 10 minutes, 20 hours 20 minutes, and so on. I wasn't sure of that, but apparently it is. So, what do we have? My strategy is based on waiting until my sequence of door choices on the 9 levels coincides with the route to the treasure chest. If it does, it all depends on how I go through the options on the last 3 levels. Specifically, the 10th, 11th, and 12th levels. So, the original probability of winning 1 in 531441 has turned into 1 in 19683, which is 27 times better because of this strategy. Next, to increase my odds by another 2 times, I played 2 sequences. For example, my first sequence is like this, my second sequence is like this. It is better if they are drawn on a piece of paper when you play, even if you remember them by heart. Now let's see. Our probability of winning, since we are using 2 sequences, has doubled. That is, the probability of winning is now 1 in 9842. That's a very good probability. So, let me tell you the basic rules of my strategy. First, it is necessary to determine the sequence, or better 2 sequences, but there can be more. That is, which door we choose at which level. All games we play only on the selected sequence, until we get to the message that you get the wrong door on level 10. Well, after that, we quickly go through the remaining 18 choices. It is unlikely that you will need to go through all 18 options. I had this happen on the 3rd option, that is, on the 3rd game, after the message about the wrong door on level 10 appeared. How long did the game take me? Well, I played an hour every day. So I played 2 sequences every 10 minutes. That makes 12 games a day. It took me a little over a month before I got to the winnings. You can play 1 game a day or 50 games a day, the choice is yours. If you follow the strategy and play every day, it'll only be a matter of time before you win. So, the basic rule is to always follow your chosen strategy. The second one. Choose a time that is convenient for you and play 1 or 2 games every 10 minutes. Each day I would start the game at 8 p.m. sharp and play 2 sequences. The next 2 games with the same sequences I would start at 8:10 p.m. And so on. 2 games you usually play in no more than a minute. And you still have 9 minutes left for 18 games. This is all to have a margin of time to play 18 variations until the treasure chest is moved to another room. I hope you understand. So, the third thing. In order to play 18 variants, you must always have at least 18 kudos in your account. To save on transaction fees, buy a lot of kudos at once. I always bought at least 20 kudos. Also now when you buy 4 of 40 kudos you get 100% kudos to your account. That wasn't the case before. I don't know how long this promotion will last, but it doubles your chances of winning based on the money you spend. And in the next video I'll tell you how you can get free kudos. I will also tell you how you can increase your chances of winning even more with team play. I also created a community on Reddit. It was created for the purpose of sharing opinions and strategies on the game at win100xbt.com. I was never able to figure out the meanings of all the signs near the doors. But in the 430 games I have played to win, I have amassed a large base of analysis. I will be posting my analysis of the signs in the game on win100xbt.com on my Reddit channel. I also invite you to share your observations about this fascinating game on this channel. And I want to say thank you to my son who edited this video. Good equipment for recording and editing the video was bought with my winnings. It was my son's idea to share with you my system, my strategy. And I'm happy that I'm giving you a tool that you can use to change your life.